Good morning, everyone. I'm Aunty Pé. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. If this is you coming back for a second week or even coming back from when we were doing Zoom online classes, welcome back. So this morning we're going to continue our conversation about creation and what it meant when God created it and how he created it. As I said last week, this is one of my favorite stories of the Bible because it shows how the world began and shows what we did before, what there was before, what God created first, second, third, how long it took us to create these. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you the continuation of the video which we watched last week. And here that is. All right, so we continued from the fourth day, which God created. And on the fourth day, we saw that God created the dome for the sky for the day and the dome for the night, the sky for the night. So on the fourth day, we see that God created the sun and the moon. So during the night, we see the moon, the dome which was created. And during the day, we see the sun, and that was created on the fourth day. God saw that it was good, and there was morning and there was night. Now we have to remember from last week, our main point was that every single thing that God created, he saw that it was good. Nothing so far God has created, and nothing he will create, would be bad. On the fifth day, which is another hectic, busy day like the third day, he created every single fish that is in the sea, every fish you could think of, whether it's carry, kingfish, whether it's dolphins or whales, every sea creature that resides in the ocean, God created. He also created on the 6th day. Remember, this is a busy day. A 5th day, sorry, is a busy day. He created all the birds of the sky. So whether you think of toucans, blackbirds, kiskadee, the scarlet ibis, the kokiko, all those things were created on the 5th day. So the 5th day, we remember that he created the fish of the sea. Well, not just the fish, all sea creatures, as well as the birds of the sky. He created all this on the 5th day. And there was morning and there was night, and it was good. Now the 6th day is one of the days that is most important to us as human beings. God created all the animals of the earth, and all the animals that roam the earth. He gave them the ability to make babies and create things in their likeness. On the 6th day, he also created man, which is why we say mankind. So he created man, and we know who that man was. We call him Adam. I don't know why we would call him Adam, but let's just call him Adam. And he created Adam, and he created Adam in a very special way. He created Adam in the image and likeness of God. So he created Adam, and by extension, the whole of mankind in his image and likeness. So when you hear persons of the church and persons of the street say that you are created in the image and likeness of God, this is what they mean. They mean that you are perfectly created by God, just like how Adam was perfectly created by God. Now it'll be kind of lonely, because nobody wants to be alone, and no man is an island, and nobody wants to just be there with all these animals. I mean, it'll be fun for a while, you alone on the whole entire earth. You only have one person, and that was Adam. And God said, you know what? You need a companion. So he put Adam into a sleep, and he took a rib from Adam and created, I don't know, let's just call her Eve. Right? He created a woman called Eve for Adam. So it was Adam and Eve's role to name all the creatures, to give each plant a name, to give each animal a name, to give each sea creature a name. One thing that the video did not mention, but it's mentioned in our Bibles, is that God gave mankind dominion over all things that live on the earth, above the earth, and under the earth. Which means that you have the power. You have the power over all things. Now that does not mean you go and become a dictator and be mean. It means that nothing that is of God or nothing that belongs on the earth can be greater than you and your love for God and God's love for you. Okay? So that is what it meant by God gave dominion over all things above the earth, under the earth, and on the earth. And God saw that it was good. So the cattle that he created was good. The birds that he created was good. Adam and Eve were good. There was morning and there was evening, and he saw that it was good. Now, at this time, God sat down and he said, I've created the heavens, the earth. I've created all things. So he would have created on the first day, he would have created light. On the second day, he would have created the separation of the domes, the waters of the earth, and the sky. On the third day, he created land and all vegetation. On the fourth day, he would have created the sun and the moon. On the fifth day, he would have created all sea creatures and all creatures that reside in the ocean, as well as all the birds that reside in the sky. On the sixth day, he would have created man, all the animals of the earth and given them the ability to make babies and reproduce. So he sat there and he said, all these things are good. So I just want you to think of how much it would have taken you, or how, just think of one day and how busy you are in one day. You have school, so you get, from the time you get up, you have to get up, hustle, go, do your morning routine, say your prayers, go to school, so you travel to school, whether you've been traveled to school, whether you're driven to school. Well, I know now we have online school, but on a normal, with everything and it will be in normal, you would go to school, you would have a full 8 hours of school for standard 5, sports and 5, you may have lessons after school, then you come, you go to your extracurricular activities, and then you come home, you do your homework, then you do your home chores, and then and only then you get a time to do something. You may watch TV and whatnot, but after that busy day you had, you've been tired, you become tired. And I believe, and I would like to believe, that God was tired because he didn't just do one day. He created everything that we've known in 6 days. So I think God deserved a rest. So that is what God did on the 7th day. On the 7th day, he rested, and he calls that day home. So just like our bodies need rest, God, after creating the heavens and the earth, needed rest. We recognize our day of rest as on Sundays. So on Sundays, we take our day of rest. So we should not do anything strenuous. That doesn't mean that you're not going to do your chores that your parents set out for you. But it's nothing strenuous. It is your day of relaxation. It is your day to worship God and relax. It is your day of rest. So we have our craft, and to finish our craft off. So we would have gathered our equipment last week. So we would have our 8 circles of the same size, glue, color pencils, and 4 inches of string. And last week, I'm going to go through what we would have created. So on our first blank circle, we would have created a cover. So our creation story, and we would have said Genesis 1. And this would be our first circle. You would have decorated it however you wanted to reflect. I put on the world. Our second circle would be our first day. So you were instructed to fold it in half and decorate one side completely black and decorate the others, well, leave the other side completely white. So that will show the night, the darkness, and the light. On the second day, which is our third circle, God separated the sea from the sky. So I use dark blue for the sea and light blue for the sky. And this is, so we would have reached the third day. So on the third day, we created the vegetation, the land, the separation of the sea from the land and the sky. And this would have been our third day. So now we have the fourth day, which we learned about today. So the fourth day was the creation of the moon and the sun. So I would have just done the moon for the night and the sun for the day. So I just did a circle for the sun and light blue for the day and dark blue for the night. But again, you could create it however you want. So your first step will be to fold that paper, your circle, fold your circle in half and use one side for night and the other side for day. And you create your moon and your sun using those sides. And that is the fourth day. Now on the fifth day, what is up with my... Right. So the 5th day, God created the fish of the sea, the birds of the air, all the creatures that reside in the sea. So you would have drawn or separated just like the 2nd day. So we would have our 2nd day, and you color it just like the 2nd day, where you have your sky light blue and your sea is dark blue. And now you would enter or add your fish, your jellyfish. I have a little crab, a little whale, and your birds of the air. Please don't put your birds in the sea. Like Aunty Pé nearly put her bird in the sea. Don't put your bird in the sea. You have your jellyfish, your fish. Remember, however you want to draw, or I might put jellyfish, you may want to put a shark, you may want to put an angelfish, whereas I just have some random fish. You may want to put a crab if you have drawing skills, and if it does not have drawing skills. And you want to do a lobster, you could put your lobster. However, whatever fish or sea creature you want to enter into the sea, you go wild, you be free with your drawings. This is your drawing. This is your interpretation of what resides in the ocean. And remember that everything you draw must be good, all right? Because everything God created was good. And on the 6th day, God created all the animals of the earth and gave man dominion over it all. So I drew a little man. Okay, Aunty Pé have a little secret. Her brother drew it for her because Aunty Pé did not know how to draw a man. And a monkey in the trees and birds of the air again. And this all was created on the 6th day. So remember, you have free range on how you want to draw, what animals you want to draw. If you want to draw Eve and add Eve to your circle, that is totally up to you. And the 7th and most holy day is the 7th day. Now on this day, God rested. So you could actually put the word rest, you could put a bed, you can do whatever it means to rest and relax on this day. And ensure that you have this, because this is a very, very important and holy day. So today you will be creating your 4th day. Why are you doing this? Right, so you will be creating the 4th day, which is the sun and the moon. The 5th day. The 5th day, which is the sea creatures, land and sea creatures and the birds of the sky. 6th day, which is the mankind, Adam, Eve, all the cattle, all the, I don't know, lions, tigers, bears, all these things. And on the 7th day, God rested. Now, how are we putting all of this together? Here's how we're going to put it all together. So the first step in putting everything together is folding. So you take your first creation story and you fold it in half. Then you take the first day, fold that in half. Second day, fold it in half. And you're folding it with the picture inside. So my picture is inside. And you just continue third day, fold it in half. Picture inside. Give it a nice little crease. 4th day, picture inside. 5th day, fold it with the picture inside. 6th day, picture inside. 7th day, picture inside. Right, so now you would have 8 circles that are folded in half with your pictures on the inside. What I'd like you to do is put them in order. when I say put them in order, I mean this. So you have your first story, which is your creation story. That's your first circle, creation. When it's folded in half, I want you to take your first day. Here's where I get a little tricky. You're sticking the dark side, which is the dark side, to the back of your creation story. Okay? So I'll repeat that again. So you'll have your two halves, two circles, and you're sticking the dark side along the creation story, along the back of the creation story. Okay, so let's do that. So take your glue, or you could have a parent take your glue. Aunty Pé's glue is not working today of all days. So take some glue. Yeah, my glue just decided it didn't want to open on me. So you take some glue, you put it on the back of the creation story. You have some glue on the back of the creation story. Don't touch the glue like how Aunty Pé is touching the glue, but you can spread it. You take your first day and stick the dark side along the creation story. Okay? Make sure the crease line up. Right. So make sure your creases, I don't think that's a word, line up. So now you have some flaps to the creation story, and it opens, and if it closes in the creation story, it opens on the first day, and then you just continue. So now on this flap, you put more glue, and you add the second day, same way. Okay. So I've put glue on the back of the first day and stuck second day. Remember, make your creases line up. Make sure nothing is upside down as well. And you continue on until you've completed all your days, sticking all your days in order. So the third day, so I would have stuck the third day, and now the fourth day, and so forth and so forth. And now this creates a really nice ornament. You could do this for Christmas, you could do this for now, just to remember everything that God created and the order that He created it in. Just trying to hurry. And you just continue sticking until you would have reached end. I think I stuck that upside down. And then I'm on my final day, which is the day of rest. Right. So now this is what I have. I have all of these stuck together. So creation, then the first day. Ooh, we stuck it together fast. And it opens kind of like a book. So you have a second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day, and sixth and seventh day. Now, between the first creation story and your last 7th day, you have to stick these together. But before you stick it together, I want you to put your string in between that space. So you're putting the string like this in between the space and then stick it together. So put your glue and stick it all together. Make sure the string is stuck really nice and tight in between those two, because you don't want your string to fly out. That's the first time Aunty Pé did it. A string flew out. And now we have our ornament that shows us the 7 days of creation. So you let it dry, and then you would have a nice completed ornament. And you spin it, and you would see all the days that God created the earth. And that is it. That is our creation story. That is our 2 weeks of the creation story. Thank you for joining me. Send me your pics. You can send me your pictures underneath this video. You can actually send it to the Outlook page. I will get your pictures. So I will showcase all these lovely creations next week. Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye.